Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are on the eve of what I'm calling APOCECLIPSE. Very original. But I have to talk about this because I've seen some crazy videos on YouTube and TikTok talking about prophecies and all this kind of stuff, all because there is a solar eclipse tomorrow. And I found it humorous, so we're going to sit here and watch them and laugh together as we dissect some of these videos. My name's Steve. I don't know. I started doing these streams every Sunday night just to talk about politics or, kind of whatever interests me. I am a Christian. I do believe that Jesus will return, of course. However, no man knows when he will come like a thief in the night. And all of these predictions about this, that, or the other thing, because there's an apocalypse, because there's an earthquake somewhere or whatever, are all kind of silly to me, right? And you'll see what I'm talking about. Check out this first video. It's pretty funny.
What I'm about to tell you about the upcoming solar eclipse on April 8th is going to blow your mind. In Matthew chapter 12, Jesus said that an evil and adulterous generation will seek for a sign, but they will receive none except for the sign of Jonah. And in Luke 17, Jesus said that as it was in the days of Noah, so also will it be in the days of the coming of the Son of Man. So get this, the path that the solar eclipse is taking will literally cross over the city of Jonah, Texas, several cities and towns named Nineveh, and it will cross over Rapture, Indiana, and not only that, it will cross over where the Ark is in Williamston, Kentucky. But that's not all. All of this will be taking place under the constellation of Cetus, the whale. To keep up with Bible prophecy, follow or subscribe now. What I'm about to
That's so funny.
And
then, I kid you not, there's a word-for-word replica of this video. I don't know who copied who. Basically saying the same exact thing. So we'll watch this as well. But I'm not a Bible expert, okay? I've read the Bible. I'm familiar enough with it. So I don't know enough to sit there and critique everything that those passages. I did grab one of them just to kind of go through, but before we do that, I think this at least the beginning is word for word for the other video, and these videos have tens of thousands of views. It's insane. I want to say one of these, I've been kind of watching some of these videos today, so I might have them mixed up, had like 500,000 views. It's insane.
What I'm about to tell you about the solar eclipse on April 8th is gonna blow your mind. In Matthew 12, Jesus says, an evil and adulterous generation seeks for a sign, but no sign will be given to it except for the prophet Jonah. In Luke 17, it says, as in the days
And they got this music. Dun 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 dun.
of Noah, so it will also be in the coming of the Son of Man. So check this out. The path that the solar eclipse will be taken on April 8th will literally go through the cities of Jonah, Texas, several towns and cities named Nineveh. Also, get this, Rapture, Indiana. It also crosses where the Ark is in Williamstown, Kentucky. But that's not all. It will also be taking place under the constellation Cetus, which means the whale. God is literally giving us the signs of the hour we are in right now. If you believe this is a sign from God, then follow for more.
Oh my goodness. When I first saw this, I was laughing because the path goes over cities named Nineveh. Do you believe it? And one called Jonah. This is so ridiculous. These people kind of see any little reference to the Bible and they think it's like, I don't know, a sign. And it's not even clear to me, to be fair to them, I don't think they're making a claim of prophecy, right? They're just kind of putting these loose kind of things that seem related in some way, shape, or form and making it to seem like it's some extravagant extraordinary claim, which I don't even know what the claim is, but yeah, pretty interesting. So, and then there's another one. I think the audio was real low, but they kind of talk about another. Let me see.
An eclipse.
Yeah, we're gonna skip that one. I don't know. The audio's real low on that one. But and then I got one more kind of before we break down some of this stuff.
A 4.8 shook New York City today. Ironically, the date for Monday's eclipse is also 4/8.
So I didn't even look for this video. Believe it or not, this showed up in my TikTok feed as I was scrolling yesterday. He just said there was a 4.8 magnitude earthquake on the Richter scale, and tomorrow is April 8th, 4/8. And he's somehow seeing a connection there between that. So dumb. So dumb.
3 days ago, lightning struck the Statue of Liberty. Today, a 4.8 shook New York. And on Monday, darkness will cover the land of America.
So wait.
Lightning struck the Statue of Liberty.
Oh my gosh, lightning struck the Statue of Liberty? Wow. You mean the giant hunk of metal 300 feet in the air? That thing probably gets struck by lightning every time it storms. So I don't know what that has to do with anything. But wow, it's all coming together, guys. It's all coming together. There was an earthquake and the Statue of Liberty was struck by lightning. Look at that. We're tying it into biblical prophecy somehow. This is so goofy.
Today, a 4.8 shook New York. And on Monday, darkness will cover the land of America as it rolls through towns called Nineveh on a date 4/8.
Oh, it's so funny.
If you don't believe me that the Lord uses his creation to send warnings, let me show you what Jesus says in Luke 21:25 as he talks about his return with the header, "Take heed and watch," talking about his own return. He says, "There shall be signs in the sun, in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. Men's hearts will fail for fear, for looking upon the things that are coming upon the earth. For the powers of the heavens shall be shaken, and then they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds with power and great glory." Amen.
Oh, I think I lost my OBS. That was weird. I think I did. It looks like I'm back on, but yeah. So you get it. They're tying this into the Bible verses of in Luke. They've mentioned a couple, but I wanted to break down a little bit, real briefly, of that verse he was just referencing. So just before that, it says some of his disciples began talking about the majestic stonework of the temple and the memorial decorations on the walls, but Jesus said, quote, "The time is coming when all these things will be completely demolished, not one stone left on top of another." So teacher, they asked, "When will all this happen? What sign will show us that these things are about to take place?" And then Jesus responded, "Don't let anyone mislead you, for many will come in my name claiming I am the Messiah, and saying, 'The time has come,' but don't believe them." So and then you will hear of wars and insurrections. Don't panic. Yes, these things must take place first, but the end won't follow immediately. Then he added, nation will go to war against nation, kingdom against kingdom. There will be great earthquakes, and there will be famines and plagues in many lands, and there will be terrifying things and great miraculous signs from heaven. So obviously I pray that the Lord returns. I look forward to it. It would be amazing, an amazing thing, but no one knows when this is going to happen. And what's going to happen tomorrow is the sun is going to be temporarily blocked out by the moon for a couple of minutes. It'll be visible in part of America. and then we're going to carry on with our day. I mean, really, that no one's going to be able to predict it and say, hey, Jesus is coming because of this eclipse. Now, I don't think anyone was explicitly saying, hey, April 8th, this is the day that Jesus is returning. So a lot of them are saying, they're trying to stir up excitement, maybe, as a charitable interpretation of kind of what these videos are doing, is they're trying to get people excited about it. Okay, fine, I guess. But it just seems so over the top, sensationalistic, and I do find it funny. And then there was another video. Actually, this guy has two. I'm not going to watch them all because they're a little bit longer, 8 minutes each, but there are certain timestamps I would just want to go through. Some of this is repeated. Talks about the path that the eclipse is going to be visible from is going over towns called Nineveh. I mean, are you kidding me? As if that means anything. And then the stars are going to be in the shape of a whale or whatever. It's just so goofy. But this video, I think this one had over 100,000 views. It's crazy. People are making these videos.
There's been a lot of talk about the upcoming eclipses going on in America. We've seen the connection to the eclipses forming the Jewish letter, the Aleph.
So, yeah, this
America.
is my favorite.
We've seen the connection.
So, apparently, they went and drew the paths of previous eclipses across America. Now, why it's only America, I don't know. I mean, I guess this is the audience for these videos, but I don't know what's so special about America where the eclipses that happen in America, these are the only ones that really count, or these are the only ones that there are really signs of and for. So that already is like questionable beyond belief, right? And then they go and map out one that was in 2017, one that was in 2023, and then they're saying, hey, this kind of looks like this letter in the alphabet. This is so dumb. I don't even know how to respond to it. Besides, I mean, I wonder, these same folks were probably saying something about this 2017 eclipse. This is going across the entire United States. This looks like a different letter of the alphabet or whatever, right? So crazy to me.
Connection to the eclipses forming the Jewish letter, the Aleph, as well as the 7 years between the two eclipses and some of the towns that they cross. But there's a lot of new information that's come out that we'll look at in this video that
a lot of new information
seems, at least in my estimation, that this is a prophetic warning to America.
So he says a prophetic warning. Okay. I don't know exactly what that means, but let's skip up to around here. Wait, yeah.
Path, but that's incorrect. Up here, you can see the dots of the town's named Nineveh.
Yeah, so some people were saying it passed through 7 towns called Nineveh. This guy's saying that's not correct. It's only 2. It doesn't, he's probably right. It doesn't matter either way. That's just a goofy kind of thing.
They're somewhat close to the eclipse path, but not within it. Only 2 towns named Nineveh will actually be in complete convergence of this eclipse path, which that alone in itself does seem to have some prophetic significance. The story of Nineveh is a story of repentance. This may be a warning from God to America that we need to turn from our wicked ways, repent, and turn back to God and his ways.
Now, of course, I think people should repent and turn towards God, but they don't need a sign that an eclipse of totality is going to pass over towns that happen to be named Nineveh or were named after the biblical town or the town referenced in the Bible. That is just goofy. I mean, I think we can all acknowledge that's goofy, right? Now, of course, I wish people do repent. But that's not going to be make a difference where the eclipse is going. So watch this.
Let's look at 2 more occurrences that may be related and assigned to America in relation to this eclipse. The first is the pattern of the 2 solar eclipses forming an X over the United States. This also happened back in the early 1800s in America. The intersection of the April 8th solar eclipse will be about 100 miles from where the 19th century eclipses crossed. The intersection of those eclipses happened over the New Madrid fault line. They also crossed very close to a town known as Cairo, Illinois. Not long after the X of those two eclipses forming over the United States, the New Madrid fault line had one of the worst earthquakes that the United States has ever seen. This has led many people to wonder if this X that's about to take place is a warning of a coming another terrible earthquake at the New Madrid fault line.
Now listen, if there is an earthquake tomorrow, I don't know, maybe I'll look back at this video and be like, Steve, you were so naive. You should have listened to this YouTube creator. I'm just going to go on record and say that's extremely unlikely. And going back to something that happened in the 1800s for something again, this whole thing is just wild.
The last occurrence that we'll look at that may have some meaning in regards to this eclipse is where the eclipse starts. The eclipse will start its path over
this is my favorite part.
America at Eagles Pass, Texas. It's hard to not think there may be some meaning to the fact that we're seeing the eclipse.
Wow, it's going to start in Texas, one of the country's biggest states. There's some significance to that because people are crossing the border. Wow. It's this prophetic. It's going to start in Texas where we have a wide open border. I'm not kidding you. That's what he's saying.
Start in Texas. This is ground zero in many aspects to where we're seeing the breaking down of our nation and its laws with the atrocities at the border situation. As we get closer to April 8th, America may do more things that lead to this Eclipse X to being a warning for our nation.
Again, I don't know why the focus is on America. I mean, don't these eclipses happen all over the world? I mean, yeah, of course. I don't know how common they are. I would imagine just as common as it is in the United States. But yeah, so I've never heard anyone ever talking about eclipse in Russia as being a prophetic sign, right? Or maybe there's Russians that say it's a prophetic sign for Russia. I don't know. Maybe that's how this whole grift works or whatever. Again, it's just crazy. And then this same guy put out another video. I think that was like a week or two ago, and then this was within the last week. As like a follow-up, because that other video had so many views. He was like, I gotta keep this going.
The April 8th solar eclipse is about to happen, but there's a lot more taking place here than just a rare cool event to go and watch. Military involvement, CERN.
Yeah, so
the next strange
CERN thing is weird. But it does nothing. Well, let's listen to what he says.
Event going on April 8th is CERN is starting back up. CERN to test world's most powerful particle accelerator during April's solar eclipse to search for invisible matter that secretly powers our universe. The first collisions of the proton beams are expected on April 8th when all tests and fine-tuning of the machine are over. Then the large CERN experiments involving colliding protons can resume their measurement program. The Large Hadron Collider will smash atoms together on April 8th. The experiment allegedly hopes to discover subatomic particles that exist inside atoms. While CERN is just claimed to be a large machine doing experiments, there is a spiritual, multi-dimensional component to it.
Well,
Sergio Bertolucci, who is the director of research and scientific computing at CERN back in 2009, said, "Out of this door might come something, or we might send something through it." In relation,
what in the world? Now that's weird. I don't know exactly why they need to do this test while there's a solar eclipse happening. That is a little bizarre. I can't imagine that has anything to do with anything. It's not like it needs the sun for what it's doing. And I must say, again, I'm not like a physicist or whatever fields do this. But that whole thing is bizarre. And I guess they're just trying to understand subatomic particles or what have you, but that is weird. If they're doing that on April 8th, but listen to this.
To technology, cell phone companies have said that millions of Americans could lose cell phone service during the eclipse.
It's not clear to me why that is, and I didn't have time to look at this article, but that is a little concerning if they're saying, hey, the cell phones might not work tomorrow. It's almost like this is like a Y2K thing. So if you're older like me, I'm 45 or whatever, I think. Yeah. Or I will be 45? No, I'm 45. When you get old, you stop counting. But the whole Y2K thing was like, oh my gosh, we're going to lose power when it flips to 2000 because these computer programs were only created with a 2-digit year and it doesn't know how to handle it once we flip to the year 2000. And there was all sorts of conspiracy theories on, what might happen, right? Now, this is the first I've heard of it, is this guy saying that cell phones may not work. I don't know, maybe. I don't know why an eclipse would have anything to do with that. That would be weird, though. I'll give him that. We'll find out. I mean, the cell phones do go down anyways as it is. I mean, there's often times where I can't get reception, where I normally do get reception. I don't know. That wouldn't be that bad. I have Verizon, which you think is supposed to be good, and it's, spotty.
Next month's solar eclipse could cause widespread cell phone disruptions for millions of Americans, officials warn. That this eclipse will trigger 3 days of darkness. First, we have on Yahoo News, TikTok video falsely claims 2024 solar eclipse will last 3 days. Another article says the upcoming solar eclipse of 2024 will the darkness last for 3 days.
Who thinks an eclipse is going to have darkness for 3 days? And he said that was on TikTok, so there was TikTok videos making this claim? Weird.
The 3 days of darkness claim, while it does pop up in conspiracy circles from time to time, does have its origins in spiritual sources. The original 3 days of darkness was one of the plagues that was brought against
Egypt. Yep. Nope, I get it. What else does he say here?
From God to America and even the world at large. Reports have come out that during this eclipse, a comet may be visible. The name of that comet is the Devil Comet. The solar eclipse and the Horned Devil Comet, two good reasons to look up on April 8th. As if a solar eclipse weren't enough, observers on April 8th may also get a glimpse of a rare horned celestial show, a dazzling bright comet with a scary name.
I mean, that might be kind of cool if, when it is dark for the minute or two that it is, if you were able to see a comet, that would be pretty cool. But it's the Devil Comet. This isn't any ordinary comet. This is the Devil Horned Comet. This is crazy, right? And then I think around here he talks about something else. Let's see.
And while this to me seems like
maybe not. Well, let's see.
Like a mocking attempt by this evil entity, while this entity goes by I was, the true one and only living God is I am. There may also be a connection here to one of the beasts in the book of Revelation. In Revelation 17:11, this beast goes by the title, the beast who was and is not. There are rumors going around that the red heifers that were just sent to Israel for the purification ceremony of the priests and the temple utensils, a huge prophetic event, that these red heifers came from the area of Texas, Eagles Pass, where the eclipse will first cross. Looking into this further, you'll see that one of the heifers came from a ranch that was outside of Houston, while the other 4 did come from a ranch that was near Dallas, Texas. The eclipse will cross near Dallas.
So apparently somewhere in Texas they found some red heifers or whatever. And I guess that's mentioned in Revelation. This is a rare thing. In fact, even Michael Knowles, and I actually watched a little bit of this. I didn't get to finish it. Didn't really want to finish it, to be honest with you. But he mentioned this red heifer thing, which is odd, I guess. But they were kind of putting all these pieces together. I don't know if they mentioned the Nineveh thing. I can't remember. But anyways, I would just encourage you not to get caught up on this. If you happen to be in that path, go out and enjoy the eclipse, where it's the middle of the day and it'll be dark for a minute or two. If you see it, hopefully it's clear and you can be able to see it. But let's not get caught up on this. Now, I still pray for Jesus' return. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about people coming to know Christ before that happens, right? So let's not lose focus with all these sensational, goofy videos of, oh my gosh, it passes over a city called Jonah, and there's a whale constellation in the sky. Give me a break. Now, they could just be playing us all, and like I said, these videos had hundreds of thousands of views. It's insane. Now, maybe it's just 100,000 people just like me laughing at it. Maybe I just got played. Because that's how social media works. You just get people fired up and angry or whatnot about various things. And it worked. It worked well. Because I watched a couple of these videos, okay? Anyways, yeah. I mentioned this before. But in Jeremiah 10... no, I didn't mention this first, but hear the word that the Lord speaks to you, O Israel. This is what the Lord says. Do not act like the other nations who try to read their future in the stars. Do not be afraid of their predictions, even though the other nations are terrified by them. Their ways are futile and foolish. I'm sorry, I hear something over here, but yeah, so listen, all these people that look at the stars and say, oh, because this planet is over here and this planet's over here, it means this, that, and the other thing. All goofiness. It's all meaningless nonsense, in my opinion. The one thing you don't want to do is don't look up at the eclipse like Trump was doing. Get some of those fancy glasses if you can. Or do the shadow. I remember when I was in school, grade school or something, we took like a piece of paper, put a hole in it, and then you can see the shadow on the ground, and you can kind of see the partial eclipse or whatever, which I think is what it's going to look like. I'm here in Florida, so I'm not going to be able to see the, complete darkness. Anyways, yeah, don't do that. That's almost all I have for you. I had one or two other videos to share with you. I saw this on Twitter, and I'm almost going to mute this guy because he's just dropping F-bombs left and right. In fact, I will. But this is how animated people get with politics. Look at them. Yeah, he's going off about Donald Trump or something or other. I can't see myself getting so worked up about politics like that, all because of law enforcement stood behind Donald Trump or something or other. I don't even know what he's... Look at him. I'm on whatever party this guy is not. Don't let yourself get so worked up about politics. Next thing I know, if Trump wins the presidency, this guy's going to be raiding the Capitol. There's going to be another insurrection from people like this lunatic. Yeah, don't be like that. All right.
Right.
One final video. I saw this clip of comedian John Crist, and he was on, I don't know, Good Morning America or something like that. And I didn't write the timestamp down, but you have to hear this part. So they play a clip of his stand-up because he's on tour nationally, right? And They ask, this is like one of those cheesy interviews, okay? And then this lady, I think right here, let's see.
Because somebody goes, oh my goodness, that's the truest thing I've ever seen. Likes and like 4.
Those usually are
But I'm
the
gonna
best
send
videos.
it.
So she asks him a question. He totally avoids the question and just talks, but you got to hear this one
My
part.
buddies.
Oh, you know
That's what Instagram is. They have like 400 likes and like 4 million shares. Why is that? Because somebody goes, oh my goodness, that's the truest thing I've ever seen, but I can't post this to everybody because somebody's going to be mad.
Yeah, so he made a point right there saying, some of my best videos don't have a lot of likes, but they have millions of shares. So they'll send it to their buddy and say, hey, check out this video because it's true. Comedians always say things that are true, and that's why it's funny. But they can't get caught liking someone that doesn't have approved opinions. This guy's not an approved comedian. You can't go liking his posts. So anyways, he's kind of making that point, which is kind of surprising. He made that point on Good Morning America or whatever.
You have your YouTube channel.
Yeah. So this is the lady that asked this question. So watch this.
Yeah.
Your viral videos.
Yep.
By the way, we are available to be on any YouTube show.
Oh, you want to collab?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll make that happen. Yo,
Oh, how nice of her just to invite herself on some of his future videos. Wow.
yeah.
You'll see a different side of us.
Oh, yeah.
This tour. What's next for you?
Oh, man. Well, we're doing
So she asked him what's next. And then listen to his response.
we're doing the rest of the tour, which goes through June, which 150,000 people have come out to it. That's a lot of people. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Because I feel like when everybody gets together, like everybody's, especially during COVID, everybody's kind of like, you would see stuff on the news and you would see stuff and you're like, that doesn't seem right, but nobody could really say. And that's why comedy, you notice comedians, every comedian show is sold out these days. The boom of comedy is so big. Unfortunately, it's kind of like when people are depressed, they need alcohol. When the world is that's why a lot of people watch this show. The world's kind of upside down in a lot of ways, and they follow you guys to help them kind of make sense of everything. That's the same with comedy. All you gotta do is just say the quiet part out loud, and everybody's like,
Or that could get us fired.
Did you hear that? So John Christ made the obvious point is sometimes you just need to say the quiet part out loud, aka the truth. And then this lady said, yeah, but that'll get us fired. I couldn't believe it when I heard that. Listen to this one more time.
kind of upside down in a lot of ways, and they follow you guys to help them kind of make sense of everything. That's the same with comedy. All you gotta do is just say the quiet part out loud, and everybody's like,
Or that could get us fired.
We can't go telling the truth in this program. I couldn't believe it. They just admitted it. In fact, she just mistakenly kind of told the truth that she's not allowed to tell the truth. And look at them laughing like, oh yeah, you could get fired for telling the truth. It's so funny. Dude, these media folks, I don't know why John Christ did this. I mean, I guess he gets exposure to people he otherwise wouldn't have, because maybe this audience is not on TikTok. They're not on Instagram as sharing. They don't have friends who are sharing it. And no shame to him. I mean, listen, if you want to do that to sell tickets, by all means, go ahead. But these media folks are corrupt beyond belief. And this lady just admitted it. We're not allowed to say the quiet part out loud. Absolutely insane, right? So, anyways, that's all I got for you. Go out and enjoy the clips tomorrow. Don't get too worried about all these end time things. Again, maybe we are in the end times. I don't know. There's nothing we can do about it. You don't know for certain. One thing I will say, if you see anyone making predictions, prophesying, and they don't come true, never believe another word that person says from here on out. Because if it's not true, it's not from God. Okay? That's all I got for you. Hope you have a great evening, and I will see you next week. Thanks. Bye.